Good evening, lamaya modama. Good evening, Sidhu. Right. Mahindra Mava and I modama. Niyamai. Right. And today we are going to discuss fully paper as a 5-hour paper. Now you know the structure of the paper becomes as a 2-hour paper and the 3-hour paper and 2-hour paper. There are two parts as a part A and part B. Right, there are 25 questions in part A. Each question carries 2 marks. Therefore, 2 into 25, 50 marks. In the part B, there are 5 structural questions. That's compulsory ones, right? And each question carries 10 marks. Therefore, 10 into 5 becomes as a 50 marks. Now, part 1 we call as a paper 1, 2-hour paper, 100 out of 100, right? Right. As well as a 3-hour paper, there are 2 parts A and B. Then we are going to discuss about the structure and we are going to discuss the paper, right? Now, today we are going to discuss paper 1, right? And this paper actually I already uploaded the LMS system. Then you can download it from the LMS system, right? Now look at this. And this is our paper. Right. Okay. Now listen. This is question number 1. A circle with circumference of the 88 centimeters is given in the figure. The circumference, the whole circumference is 88 centimeters. Now find the arc length of the shaded part. Find the arc length of the shaded part, right? Now tell me, don't think about the radius, don't think about the formulas. This is the first question, right? Now the total circle becomes as 88. Now tell me what is the portion of this one? Situ, දාන්න උත්තරේ. Answer දාන්න බලන්න Situ. That's very easy question. Yes, 1 over 4. Therefore, 22 is a whole circle. Then you have to divide by the 4. Or you can write as a 1 over 4 of the whole circle. That's a circumference, 88 centimeters. Now 4 times 1 and 4 times 22. Now you can write as the answer. Therefore, arc length should be a 22 centimeters. Well done. Second question. This one is relevant to the index form and to the logarithm form, right? 10 to the power of minus 2. 10 to the power of minus 2. 10 to the power of minus 2 is equals to the 0.01. 0.01. Now, this one we call as the index form. You can change as a logarithm form. And we know the base 10, the logarithms of the any number with base 10, you can write as LG. We can write as LG. Now, the logarithms of the 10, right? The base is a 10. Now look at this. Now look at this. This is a base. Therefore, this one we call as a value. This one we call as a index. Now, therefore, the logarithms of the 0.01 to the base 10 is equals to the minus 2. Minus 2. Minus 2, right? This is a base, logarithm, and the value. Understood, Situ? Yeah? Yes, right? The any index form you can write as a logarithm form. Now, what is the value is relevant to the square root of the 18 nearest whole number, right? Nearest whole number. අද ඒක නිකන් කැතයි වගේ තමයි. But what is the value of the square root of the 18 to the nearest whole number? And you know the first approximation actually in the grade 10, the second lesson, right? Square roots. Find the square roots of the 18, right? Now, what are the rules? Square root of 18. Actually, this one's lie between the square root of the 16 and the square root of the 25. Now we call as a 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Right? The difference between the 16 and 18 is the smallest one. Therefore, I'm going to check as a 4.1, 4.2, like this, right? Now 4.2 to the power of 2, right? Now the answer is 4 because approximately equals, right? 4.2 becomes as approximately equals 4. Therefore, answer is a nearest to the whole number, it should be a 4. අනිවාර්යෙන් උත්තරේ 4 වෙන්න ඕන, right? එහෙනම් 5 වෙන්න බෑ because the difference is a 7. 18 to the 25, its difference is a 7. Now gap between the 16 and 18 is a 2. Therefore, nearest whole number is a 4. Understood සිතු? ඒක තේරෙනවද? හදන්න ඕනේ නෑ උත්තර තේරෙන්න ඕනේ. අපෙන් ඇහුවනම් round to the nearest, sorry, answer then the one to find the value for the square root of the 18 to the nearest first decimal place, then you can write as a 4.2, 4.3, 4.1 like that. But in this question, nearest whole number, then answer becomes as a 4. Simplify. Megana Marlesi, Hadumana Bude, algebraic expressions with algebraic fractions. Grade 10. Now you know we have to find the LCM, lowest common multiple, and the 3a and the 4a. 3 and 4, you know the LCM is a 12. Therefore, we have to write as a 12a. You need to multiply by the 4 and you need to multiply by the 3 also. Now answer becomes 20 over 12a minus 9 over 12a. Now answer becomes 11 over 12a. 11 over 12a. මේමයි. උත්තරේ හරියටම හරි පුතේ. Super. Question number 5. According to the information in the given figure, find the value of the x. All right. There are two theorems relevant to these questions, right? Actually, right now you can find the answer using the three theorems, but two theorems is enough for this one, right? Find the answer for x. ගන්න බලමු x answer එක. X equals 40. Right. Now listen. This is a straight line. Therefore, you know the sum of the angles lie on the straight line becomes as 180. Then here is a 110. Then you can find the answer for here. And this one should be a 70 degrees. Right? And this one is also 70 degrees because isosceles. These two angles must be equals. Now, you can write as a equation. The exterior angle is a 110. It should be equal to the sum of these two angles, right? These two angles. then answer becomes as x plus 70 equals to the 110. Now x should be equals to the 110 minus 70. Final answer is 40 degrees. 40 degrees. Or you can use the theorem about the sum of the interior angles inside of the triangle is 180, 70, 70, 140. Therefore, 140 subtract from the 180, then answer becomes also 40. Right. Any method, answer becomes as a 40. New. Question number 6. Factorizing. Actually, this one is a grade 9 thing because the coefficients of the x squared is a 1. Therefore, this one's actually grade 9. Right? Find the factors. Trinomial quadratic expressions. Now you can find the answer. Now I got to discuss. Your answers are correct, right? Well done. Because look at this one. The orders are correct, and the first term into the last term you have to multiply. Now answer becomes as a minus 20 x squared. It becomes as a negative. The difference of these two numbers should be a minus x. Therefore, greatest number should be a negative, and the other thing becomes as a positive one because the different signs make as a product becomes negative numbers. Now 20 is a minus 5x into the plus 4x. These are the suitable couple for a minus x. Now I'm going to substitute x squared minus 5x and the plus 4x minus 20. Now x squared. Now x is a common factor. Look at this first two couples. If we have a four factors, four numbers, four terms, we are looking for the first couple. Now x is a common factor. Now open the bracket and inside of the terms becomes as a x minus 5. Now repeat the same bracket here, x minus 5. Now x is there, the plus 4 is missing 1. Now we have two factors. Now first one is the terms inside of the brackets. Now second term becomes as a terms outside of the brackets, it becomes x plus 4. X minus 5 and the x plus 4. That's easy thing, right? Uh, and I told this one is relevant to grade 9 because the coefficients of the x squared is a 1, right? If that becomes like that, 1, you can find the answer. Here is a minus 5, here is a plus 4. Then the factors becomes as a minus 5 and plus 4. Yeah, x minus 5, x plus 4. That's a very easy thing. And this one already discussed about the factors, trinomial quadratics relevant to grade 9 in our algebraic fractions lesson also. Question number 7, right? Fill in the blanks, right? Using the given information, so ABCD is a parallelogram. Now write the answers, right? And you know the characteristics about the parallelograms, right? Opposite sides equal and parallel, and the opposite angles are equals. Diagonals bisected by each other, and each diagonals bisect the whole area of the parallelogram. Now look at this. AD parallel to the BC. Well done. Next one. Angle ABC should be equals to the angle ADC, or you can write as a CDA. Right? But the answer is ADC equals to the ABC. Your answer is correct. Lazy. Question number 8, and this one's relevant to the man days. We call as inverse proportions. Now find the answer. Hurry up. I will give you a 30 seconds. There are sufficient food for 10 days for 15 soldiers in a camp. And we know the scenario. It's like a man, days, and MD, M into the D. And this is scenario, right? How many minutes? There are sufficient food for 10 days. 10 days, 15 soldiers. 15 into 10 becomes as a 150 man days, right? This is a scenario. Now, how many days this food storage is sufficient for the 25 soldiers? Now, question is very easy. Now, 25 and days we don't know, and the man days is a quantity 150. Now, how to find the D? You need to divide by the 25. Now, number of days equals to the 150 divided by the 25, and the answer becomes as a 6 days. 6 days. Well done. Question number 9. Actually, this was relevant to the volume, and you know the equal cross sections. Lassanam katawa. Volume is equal to the with equal cross section solids. Area of the cross section multiplied by the length. Right? Topic, height. Right? It's a වැදගත්ම කතාව. At the volume, it's equals to the area of cross section. Area of cross section multiplied by the length. Multiplied by the length. And this was a very, very important thing. Right? In this case, the volume of the right triangular prism, it's a triangular prism, right? With the cross-sectional area, cross-sectional area 12.5 cm squared. That's the area, right? Is a 125 cubic centimeters, and this is a volume. This is a volume, and this is area of the cross section. Now you know the equation. Find the length. Find the length of the prism. Now we don't know how to find the length. You need to divide 125 by the 12.5. Therefore, length should be equal to the 125. You need to divide by the 12.5. Right. Now listen. How to divide by the using the decimal numbers? The theory part is you need to eliminate the decimals in the denominator. Now there are only one decimal place number. Then I am going to the multiply by the 10 because I want to remove the decimals. Now answer becomes 1250 divided by the 125. Now you know 1250 divided by the 125, then answer becomes as a 10. and the unit should be centimeters because the length is equals to centimeters. So මේක තේරෙනවද පුතේ? Yes, right. අනිවාර්යෙන් වැදගත් question එකක් පුතේ. හරි? Right. And the yeah, well done. Neva, yeah? Neva situ. Right. The side PS of the equilateral quadrilateral එකක්, right? මේ quadrilateral එකක් PQRS කියන්නේ. And they produce up to T. Now find the value of the x. Using these details, use these details and find the value for x. Hurry up. Right, and you said x becomes 20, right? Now let's see. Uh, this is a quadrilateral PQRS, and the extended side is 110, and there are some triangles here also. That was very easy because the x is situated on this straight line like this. Therefore, this is a triangle. Then you can find the answer for here. Method answer හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. How? You need to subtract from the 180 the sum of the 90 and 40, right? And the 90 plus 40 becomes as 130. Therefore, you need to subtract from the 180. Then answer becomes 54 here. And here is a 50. Now you know PST is a straight line. Now you can write as a x plus 110 plus 50 should be equals to the 180. Now x equals to the 180 minus 160. Now x is equals to the 20 degrees. 20 degrees. හරි පුතේ. හරි quadrilateral එකක් කිව්ව එකේ තේරුමකුත් නැහැ ඉතින්, right? අපි use කරේ නැහැ ඒක. quadrilateral කියන එක. Right? Now that's easy thing. Right. Actually this one's මේක නම් grade 11. මතක ඇති? Quadratic equations. But grade 10 වලත් තියලා මේක factorizing දෙකෙන් හදන්න 10 එකේ ළමයටත් පුළුවන්. Right. හදමු පුතේ. Find the answers for x quadratic equations. Right. This one's very easy thing. Uh, Actually, that one's wrong, right? බලමු පුතේ මේක බලමු. දැන් මෙතන ඔයාලට පේනවා ඇති. This is the product between the two factors. And we have a logic answer like this. මතක ඇති we discussed in grade 10 also. A into B becomes as a 0. What is the logic? A should be equal 0 or B equals to the 0. And that's the thing. That's the logic. This is the logic, right? The every factors should be becomes as a 0. Now you can write x becomes 0 or 2x minus 1 is the next factor. It should be equal to the 0. That's very easy thing, right? Now here is x equals 0. That's it. Now 2x minus 1 equals 0. You have to find the value for x now here. Now minus 1 go to the other side. Now 2x becomes as a 1. Both sides are divided by the 2. Finally, x becomes as a half. Now x equals half or x equals 0. X equals 0. Right? Now look at the board. And these quadratic equations becomes like this. මෙහෙමත් වෙනවනේ මේ බලන්න මෙහෙම. දැන් මේක දුන්නොත් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මේ x minus 5 x plus 3 equals to the 0. දැන් මතක් වෙන්නේ නැති. Right? Now what is the answer? You can write as a x minus 5 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. Now you can write as x equal plus 5 because minus 5 goes to the other side. So x becomes as a minus 3. Right? And this is scenario. Situ, දැන් මතක් වුණා තුතා එක? කොහොමද? Yeah, okay. When x becomes 0 or 2x minus 1 becomes 0. අපි ලියාගමු හැමෝම පුතේ. Now find the lowest common multiples. Right. Lowest common multiples, that's easy. You have to write the method also, and this is the method 3x and the 4x squared y and the x into the x plus 1. Right. Now there are no factorizing. This is also in the factorizing mode. Factors තමයි මේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ, right? එකක්වත් factorize වෙන්නේ නැහැ. That's easy thing. Now 3x you can write as 3 into the x. Therefore 3 to the power of 1 into the x to the power of 1. Now 4 is a 2 to the power of 2, x to the power of 2, y to the power of 1. Now this one is a x into the x multiplied by the x plus 1. May have a power 1. Right? Now what is the LCM? You need to write as a products between the highest values with all the different terms. How many different terms? 2 is a different, 3 is a different, x is a different, y is a different, and x plus 1 is also different. Now you can write as a 2 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 1, x to the power of 2 into the y to the power of 1 into the x plus 1. Now what is the answer? 2 to the power of 2 is a 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 x squared y into the x plus 1. Now this is a lowest common multiple. This is the lowest common multiple. Understood, Sidhu? දැක්කද වැඩේ? Yeah. This is also related to grade 11. And you know the midpoint theorem. මතකයි අපි කතා කරා පුතේ. නේද? Write two relationships of the OS and the XY. OS and XY. And this is the center. Center is O. And X, Y, Z. And this one is X. Now this is a right angle, perpendicular one. Perpendicular. And this is semicircle. Now XY and X is two chords. Listen, XY is a chord and this X is also a chord. And what's the theorem? Look at this theory. If this one becomes as a circle, now this is a center, this is a chord, center to the chord. The line drawn becomes as a perpendicularly. Now chord should be bisect. Chord එක අනිවාර්යයෙන් දෙකට කැඩෙන්න ඕන. Right? Therefore, xx as well as a fz should be equals. And center is O. The OY and the OZ are also equals because same radii in the same circle. Radii in the same circle. Right? Now you know O is a midpoint and S is also midpoint. And what's the midpoint theory? OS should be parallel to the XY. Now OS and XY, write the two relationship. What is the first one? First one should be a OS should be parallel to the XY. That's the first relationship. Second one, and you know, XY is equals to the 2 times OS. Or you can use half of XY. Half of XY is equals to the OS. Right? And these are the things. Situ, yeah, right? That's a midpoint clearly, right? But you have to identify these ones are midpoints of this triangle, right? When we are joining the two midpoints of the triangles, then other side should be a parallel to the joining line, and the length should be a 2 times of the parallel lines. අනිවාර්යෙන් එන්න ඕනේ. 14th one. Write the set of positive integers which satisfy the inequality. You can write as a positive integers. Positive, only positive ones. Right. Now look at this. 2x plus 1 is less than 6. Less than 6. Now plus 1 go to the other side, or you can add minus 1 to the left hand side and right hand side. Now plus 1 minus 1 eliminate. Now 2x becomes as a 5. Now both sides are divided by the 2. Now this one should be a x is less than 2.5. But this was not the answer. 3.5, 2.5. X is less than, na? Less than 2.5. Now what are the sets? You can write as a curly brackets. What are the 2.5 වලට වඩා අඩු වෙන්න ඕන. Now that one should be a 1 and 2. 0 කියන්නේ positive නෙමෙයිනේ පුතේ. Just only 1 and 2. That are the set of positive integer numbers. Positive integers. 2.5ට වඩා අඩු වෙන්න ඕන. Therefore, positive integer becomes as a 2 and 1. You cannot write as a 0, right? Right. 15th one. That's very easy question. That's very easy question. According to the given Venn diagram, what is the NA dash? NA complement. What is the meaning of the NA dash? Number of elements in set A dash, right? Number of elements. 163 and the 257. Now listen, this is the A. This circle is a A. This set we call as a A. Therefore, what's the meaning of the N A dash? There should be a except A. A නැතිව ඉතුරු ටික වෙන්න ඕන. Right? And we call as a dash. Now tell me the elements of the A dash. 2, 4, 5, 7. Now tell me, what is the value for the NA dash? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 elements. Therefore, answer is a 4. That's very easy. මාරගසි ප්‍රශ්නය. 16th one, find the value of the BDC. Time එක ඇතිනේ පුතේ. Just 2 minutes for each questions. That's enough, right? Now look at this. This is a circle. The angles in a circles, the grade 10, and this is a center O, and you know this is a diameter. Now they are මතක් වෙනවා. Now A, B, and O is a center, as well as a then they are මතක් වෙනවා. This is a diameter. Therefore, this one should be a 90 degrees. Right? Because angles obtained at the semicircles should be a right angles. Right? Now here, It's a D. Now this one should be a 43. 43. Now find the value of the BDC. BDC. මෙන්න මෙතන value එක තමයි අපෙන් අහන්නේ. This one. And you know, look at this. This is a BC, we call as a chord, right? Now there are two parts, right? There are two circles, two parts of the circle. Now BC bisects as a two portions. Now this is a large segment. Now BC subtended the angles here, and BC subtended also angles here. Now we can write as a both angles are equals because angles in same segment. Then you can write as a angle BAC. Angle BAC should be equal to the angle BDC. Angle BDC. Because why? Angles in same segment. Angles in same segments. Right? Now we can write the answer for a BAC. Because here's a 90. Therefore, BAC is equal to the 90 minus 47. Sorry, 43. Now answer becomes 47. Then you can write as a BDC is also the 47 degrees. 47 degrees. Nearby. Now 70 questions relevant to the percentages. Percentages. Find the answer. Right. At the time, right? 32% of duty tax charged for importing mobile phones which made in Singapore. According to that, find the value of the watch price 8,500 after paying tax. After paying tax, right? Find the value of the watch price as a 8,500 after paying tax. බලමු පුතේ වැඩේ නම් මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? අපිට එකපාර උත්තර හොයගන්න පුළුවන්. First you need to find the answer for a tax. How to find the tax? The duty tax becomes as 32%. Now 8,500 multiplied by the 32%. 0 0 0 0. Now 85 you need to multiply by the 32, and you know how to multiply the 32. 2 times 5, 10, and 1 remainder, 16, 17. 15 and 1 remainder, 25. Now you can find the answer for this one. The text becomes as a 0, 7, 5, 12, 1 remainder, and 7 and 2720, right? 2720 rupees. Now this is a tax. Therefore, how many rupees? 2720 rupees. Now, after paying tax, value after paying tax. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ tax එක ගෙවට පස්සේ, right? After paying tax, 8,500 as an import value. You need to add the tax එක. Now 2,720. Now 0, 2 0 is a 2, 5 7 12, 1 remainder, and 11. Now 11,220 rupees, and this is the method number 1. But without finding the tax, you can find the answer for a value after paying tax. ඒකෝ දෙකපාර හොයන්න පුතේ. මේම value after paying tax. You can find the answer like this. 8,500 you should be multiplied by the 132%. 0 0 0 0. Now you can multiply 132 into the 85. One shot to 3 now. 5 times 2 10, 1 remainder, 16, 1 remainder, 6. 8 times 2 16, 1 remainder, 25, 2 remainders, and 10. Now answer becomes 0, 2 remainders, and the 2 and the 11. What a one shot to 3 right? Right? You can use this method, or you can use this method. Any method you can use. Question number 18 I'm going to skip because that was relevant to our last lesson. Data representation, the interpretation. Now I'm going to question number 19. Right, 19. This was relevant to the grade 10. Right. Time 2 minutes. A car which travels at the speed of the 60 km/h minus 1 spend 40 minutes to the travel from the city A to B. Now listen. Now I'm going to find the distance. Firstly, I need to find the distance. Now how to find the distance? And you know this one we call as a triangular shape. DST triangle. DST. And do you want to find the distance? You need to multiply speed and the time. Now, speed is a 60 km/h minus 1. Now, time is a 40 minutes. Now, listen, here's a problem. Therefore, you need to change as a hours. Now, they make hours. I'm going to divide by the 60. Right? Now, 60 and 60 you can simplify. 60 and 60 eliminate. Now, answer becomes 40 kilometers. Right? Now, what is the time spent by the motorcycle with the span 40 kilometers per hour travel to the city A to B now? Now, time. How to find the time now? Now, time is equals to the distance divided by time, speed. Now, distance is a 40 kilometers. You need to divide by the 40 km/h minus 1. Now, answer is a 1 hour. 1 hour. Right. That's the answer. Well done. Now find the answer for the 20th one. Right. Now we're going to discuss. Balabute. There are 4 congruency cases, right? And you know that. Now I'm going to draw the first figure. This was like this. This is a parallel lines. These are parallel, and these straight lines are parallel. And A, B, C, D, and E and F. E and F. Now A right parallel and the AC equals to the BD. AC කියන්නේ පුතේ BD කියලා අපිට කියනවා. Right? AC equals to BD. AC equals to the BD. Given. මේක දෙන කෙනෙක්. Right. Now look at this. This one should be equal to this one, right? Now you can write as a EAC. EAC angle should be equal to the FBD. What is the reason? And we know corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. As well as look at this. This one. And these are the parallel lines, right? And the angle, angle, and side, and here also you can write as a parallel lines here. Now this one should be equal to this one, right? Now that's a F symbol also. ECA. Now you can write as a ECA equals to the FDB, also corresponding angles. Therefore, you can write as a triangle AEC congruent to the triangle BFD. The case is angle, angle, and corresponding side. We call as a AAS. එයා පුතේ AS වෙන්න ඕනේ. සයිඩ් එකක් නැහැ නේ කොහොමවත් පුතේ මේකේ. එකම එක සයිඩ් එකයි තියෙන්නේ. And two angles and the corresponding side middle එකේ. Two angles middle එකේ. Right. වැඩේ ගොඩනේ. Therefore side should be a corresponding. ගැලපෙන්න වෙන්න ඕන. And SS නෙමෙයි, SSS නෙමෙයි, RHS නෙමෙයි. Then answer becomes as a AAS. We call as a angle, angles, and side. And the side should be a corresponding one. Yeah. 21. Now find the gradient of the straight line given in the coordinates plane, right? Uh, Now I'm going to discuss. There are three things about this question. First one, gradient. Second one, intercept. And third one, equations, right? මේ තුනම අපි කරලා තියෙනවා පුතේ grade 10 එකේදී. Now listen, right? Now look at this. The angles between the graph and the positive side of the x-axis becomes as an acute angle triangle. Therefore, this one should be a positive gradient. අනිවාර්යෙන් positive gradient එකක් තියෙනවා. Right. Firstly, I am going to discuss about the intercept. මාරම ලේසි. මේක දැකපු ගමන් කියන්න පුළුවන්. Because intercept is equals to the intersection point of the y-axis. Therefore, this one we called as a C. ඒ කියන්නේ කවුද මේකේ නම? Intercept. Intercept. Right. That's the first thing. Right. Now, look at the coordinates. The coordinates of this point is 0, 2. And the coordinates of this point is 3, 5. Now you know we have two coordinates now, 0, 2 and 3, 5. Now this one is representing the x-axis, this one is representing the y-axis. Now you can write as a gradient is equals to the difference of y coordinates divided by the difference of the x coordinates. Right? Now this is a scenario. Right? Now we can find the answer of the gradient. Now I'm going to find the gradient. Gradient is equal to the difference of y coordinates means 5 minus 2 divide 3 minus 0. Now answer becomes 3 divided by 3. Now answer is a 1. Now answer is a 1. Gradient is a 1. Intercept is a C. Now you know the third thing. Y is equal to the mx plus c. Now equation is y equals 1x plus 2, or you can write as y equal x plus 2. දැන් පුතේ මේ පේපර් එකේ අහන්නේ ඔයාගේ මේක විතරයි. gradient එක විතරයි ඇහුවේ. Now this is answer. This is answer for this one. But I'm going to discuss the intercept and the equation also. මම ඒ දෙකත් කියා දුන්නා. මොකද අහන්න පුළුවන්. Right? සිතුම් මේක තේරුණා පුතා? Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. Note down කරගමු අපි හැමෝම මේක. Now this is a question number 22. Yeah, well done, huh? Right. This one is related to the loci. Loci and the construction. And there are 4 major locis. Locus points මතක ඇති. Right. Now AD is the locus points equidistance to AB and AC. AB and AC can two straight lines. Therefore, what is a locus points equidistance to two straight lines? It should be a angle bisector. Anivaran angle bisector window. Right. This is angle bisector. And this is point D. D. Right. This is a D. Now, make the way of the obtaining point P which locates on the locus and 6 centimeters away from the AB. So the AB is a straight line. 6 centimeters away from AB. Away from AB now should be a parallel line. Therefore, you need to draw the parallel line like this. It should be a parallel, and here to here should be a 6 centimeters away. Now, where is the point P? Now, this is the point P. Right. So, itu udah ketika putih. Yeah, well done. 23. Now find the answer for the 23. Now this is the center. This is O. And this was 13 centimeters. This was very easy thing. This one's a 12 centimeters. Then kino naman uttare pay now again, right? 12 centimeters. And Z, Y. හේතුවත් මං කියන්නේ x. Right. Now, O is a center is a circumscript circle of the triangle XYZ, and according to the figure, find the value of the x, z, y. X, z, y. And you know, this is a semicircle because xy is a diameter. This one should be a 90 degrees. Therefore, this one should be 90 degrees. අනිවාර්යෙන්. And Roman number 2. Find the length of the ZY. මේ බලන්න පුතේ. Now look at this. This is a right angle triangle. මම මේක මේ පැත්තට ගන්නවා. තීර විතර අඳිමු කොහොමද? එහෙමද තියෙන්නේ? And this one we call as a hypotenuse. මෙයාට අපි කියන්නේ hypotenuse කියලා. Hypotenuse. And this one's a 30. This one's a 12. එහෙනම් මේක 5 කියලා දැනගන්න ඕනේ නේ. අපි බලමු. This is ZY. Right? අපි ආව දන්නේ නැහැ. Now how do you use the Pythagoras theorem? You can use the Pythagoras theorem. බලමු පුතේ Pythagoras theorem එක කොහොමද දාන්නේ එකට? And you know the square of the hypotenuse, right? Using Pythagoras theorem, 13 square should be equal to the 12 square plus ZY square. Now this one go to this side, and 13 square is 169 minus 144 equals to the ZY square. Now 25 is equal to the ZY square. Now 25 is 5 to the power of 2 is ZY square. Therefore, you can write as a ZY is equal to the 5 centimeters. ඔන්න පුතේ ZY එකට උත්තරයක් එනවා. සිතුන්ට එක තේරෙනවද පුතේ? Yeah, because the Pythagoras relationship is a very easy thing. There are 3 special scenarios. 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 8, 10. And the 5, 12, 13. අර මට උත්තරේ පේනවා කිව්වේ ඒකයි. මම මේක දැනන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. ප්‍රසිද්ධ ප්‍රශ්න තුනක් වෙති. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 and 5, 12, 13. ගණන් හදලා මෙයා ඕවා දන්නවා. දැකලා පාඩම් කරලා නෙමෙයි. automatically පාඩම් වෙලා තියෙනවා. Right. This is question number 24. පොඩක් යට පල්ලෙහ කරලා පේන්නේ මම හින් දාන්න අපට උඩට. Right. Now okay. සිදු දාම් පුතේ උත්තරේ. 6:25. තමයි උත්තරේ දාන්න. Are you sure? Right. බලමු. This is the last question in our first paper. In the part A එකේ sorry තව එකක් තියෙනවා. 24 නේ. Right. No sir. Right. ඒකොල්ලෝ. Right බලමු. sure නැත් ඇයි කියලා බලමු. This was very easy සුදු. මේ බලන්න පුතේ. very very එකක් නැහැ. ඔන්න බලන්න වෙන්නේ. This was a blue and this one's a red. පට්ටම ලේසි කතාව. Right? And this one's also blue and this one's red. Blue and red. Now look at this. The first taking and the second taking. This is the first taking and the second taking. Now the probability of the first round is 3/5. Therefore this one should be a 2/5 because the sum of the two branches becomes just a complete one. අනිවාර්යෙන් complete one එකක් වෙන්න. 3/5, 2/5, 3/5 and 2/5. The question is find the probability of the obtaining two LED bulbs with the different colors. මේ බලන්න පුතේ. color එක different වෙන්න ඕන. Now tell me the outputs. මට පුතේ මේකේ output එක කියන්නේ මාර ලේසි වෙන්නේ. Now there are four outputs now. First one blue color, second one blue color. Then I am going to write as a BB, blue and blue. Second one, first taking is a blue color and the red color, blue and red. This one, red color and the blue color, red and blue. And this one, red color and the red color, red and red. Now the question is taking the LED bulbs with different colors. ඔතන පුතේ BB එනවද? No. Because the same color. This one, yes. This one, yes. This one, no. No. Therefore, now you have to find the probability PBR, probability of the getting the blue color and the red color plus and P, red and blue, PRB. Now, how to find the PBR? Make a කොහොමද පුතේ හොයන්නේ? You need to multiply 3/5 into the 2/5. 3/5 into the 2/5. Now you need to add probability of the red blue. 2/5, 3/5. 2/5 into the 3/5. Now answer becomes 6/25 plus 6/25. Now answer is 12/25. සිතු මේක තේරෙනවද පුතේ? ලේසිම ලේසි නේද? සිතු. Okay? Now okay. Yeah, very good. Well done. Now I got the 25th question and this is the last question. The part A. The location A is observed from the top of the tower Q with the height of 40 meter, which locates on the ground level, which locates at the ground level at so ground level as 35 degrees of the angle of the elevation. And you know angle of the elevations and the angle of the depressions, right? Depressions. Elevation kare puti uda balane ganne me. Depression kare palle hawanne. Right? They mark these informations on the given figure. Harimo lesi weda. Now look at this. Here's a Q and there's a P, it's a ground level and a 90 degrees, and here's X. Sorry, A. Now the location of the A observed from the top of the tower Q with a height of 40 meters, which locates on the ground level at the 35 degrees of the elevation. එහෙනම් පුතේ අපි වන්නවා the ground level එකේ ඉඳන් angle of the elevation. Therefore this one should be a 30 උඩ බලන්නේ 35 degrees, right? 35 degrees. The location A is observed from the top of the tower Q with the height of 40 meters. Now this is a height, it's a 40 meters, which locates on the ground level at the 35 degrees angle of the elevation. Now mark these informations on the given figure, right? Now that's a very easy thing, right? මතක පුතේ මේක හරි. Angle of elevation from A to Q with height is 40 meters. Therefore angle of elevation කියන උඩ බලන එක. Right. හරි පුතේ. Right, and today session එක පුතේ මම ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් නවත්තනවා because මම පොඩ්ඩක් අසනීපෙන් ඉන්නේ, right? ඒ නිසා මේ now we are going to discuss the next day part B and the fully paper අපි discuss කරන පුතේ exam එකට කලින් අනිවාර්යෙන්, and this Saturday we are going to discuss our last lesson, data representation and interpretation, interquartile range and the cumulative frequency curve, right, with a lot of things. අනිවාර්යෙන් වැදගත් වෙන questions එක ලකුණු 10ක් එන, and we are going to doing that question also in our theory class. එහෙනම් පුතා සුදු goodbye. එහෙනම් අපි ලස්සන paper එක කරලා තියන්න ඊට පස්සේ අපි discuss කරගෙන යමු. Right, okay, goodbye. Thank you Sudhu. Okay.